From a young age, many of you have felt something that others do not understand, as if the world were heavier, deeper, and you carry within your chest a mix of sensations that no one can explain. Perhaps you have noticed that you feel things differently, a sadness that arises for no apparent reason, a perception that goes beyond what is said, an unease that does not quiet. If this resonates with you, know that it is not a coincidence or a weakness. You are a chosen one. Being chosen is not just any title. It is a silent call, a mission that God places in the heart even before we are born. Those who have been set apart to fulfill a special purpose carry, from childhood, the marks of this choice, not only in the difficulties they face, but also in the strength and sensitivity that accompany them. This explains why many times you have felt alone, misunderstood, or different, even when surrounded by people. What I want to tell you today is simple but profound. Your story, every struggle, and every moment that felt too heavy is part of something much bigger. The Bible shows that God knows us even before we are in our mother's womb, and He already had a plan for you, a plan that perhaps you are only now beginning to understand. But this journey is not easy. The chosen ones face tests, resistance, and even rejection. They need to learn to deal with all of this so that they can fulfill the mission that God has entrusted to them. You are not here by chance, nor to live an ordinary life. There is a unique purpose waiting for you, and the signs of this mission are in everything you have lived, especially in your childhood. Therefore, I invite you to stay with me until the end of this video. Together, we will discover what the signs are that confirm you are indeed a chosen one. Understand the mission that God has already planted in you from the beginning, and find the strength to continue firmly on this journey. And if this message touches something in your heart, I ask one thing: subscribe to the channel. Here, I don't just want you to watch videos. I want you to be part of a community that awakens to your true identity and purpose. Come with me on this journey. Have you ever stopped to think that your life did not begin just at the moment you were born? That everything you are, everything you have lived, may have been planned long before your first cry? The Bible gives us a hint about this in Jeremiah 1:5, when God says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you came out of the womb, I sanctified you." This shows that God already had a plan for you, even before you physically existed. Being chosen means that, from the beginning, you were set apart for a special mission. It is not a choice made by chance or convenience, but a divine decision. This means that you were born with a unique purpose, a responsibility that you may still be discovering. And along with this mission comes a preparation that is not always visible to the eye. Often, this preparation begins silently, still in childhood, even if we do not understand it at that moment. You may recall difficult moments, situations that seemed too heavy for your age, pains that seemed to have no explanation. These experiences are not just challenges or coincidences. They are part of what God used to shape your character and strengthen your soul. Those who are chosen do not have an ordinary life. The journey may be marked by trials that seem unfair, as if you were tested from an early age to learn something the world does not teach. These difficulties are not meant to bring you down, but to help you grow. And behind these trials, There is a spiritual preparation happening, often invisible but very real. You may have felt different from other children. Perhaps you understood things that others did not, felt more intense emotions, or had a sensitivity that made you perceive what people were not saying. This is not weakness or a problem to be hidden. It is a mark of one who has been called to something special. This preparation that God does in the lives of the chosen is like a seed planted in difficult soil. The seed needs to face strong winds, rain, and intense sun to be able to grow strong and bear fruit. In the same way, you have gone through situations that seemed harsh, but that were shaping your inner and spiritual strength. And even if everything seemed confusing or even unfair in childhood, know that God never abandons His own. He is always working, even when we do not see it. He uses each experience, each tear, to prepare you for the steps you will take in the future. The life of the chosen is not easy, but it is blessed because it is guided by a divine purpose. Many great biblical figures went through this type of invisible preparation. They also faced pains and challenges even in childhood, which served to strengthen their spirit and align their hearts with the mission that God entrusted to them. This shows that what you are living today parallels stories that changed the world. It is important for you to understand that feeling the weight of this mission is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it is a sign that you carry something much greater than yourself. The calling starts before physical life, and the journey to fulfill this mission begins precisely with the preparation, even if it is hard and silent. You are not alone on this path. The preparation that God made in your life was so that at the right moment, you would be ready to take on your role. It may be that right now, you do not see clearly everything that has been lived, but have faith that each experience had a purpose. You are growing, being shaped to be strong. This time of formation may have seemed difficult, but it is the foundation that sustains your spiritual journey. Everything you have been through was necessary for you to have the wisdom, strength, and faith that only those who have been prepared by God can have. Your calling is real and more alive than ever. Allow yourself to trust that God knows your path from the beginning. He is with you every step of the way, even in moments of pain and doubt. Your birth was not random. Your childhood was not in vain. You are a chosen one, set apart for a mission that the world needs you to fulfill. Many chosen ones begin to feel the weight of life very early. Childhood, which for most is a time of play and protection, for you may have been marked by losses and loneliness. It is not uncommon that from a young age you had to face responsibilities that others only know in adulthood. This difficult reality is not a punishment nor a coincidence. It is part of the preparation for the mission that God entrusted you with. Imagine a child who needs to mature quickly because the world around them demands it. Losses of important people, lack of support, situations that make the heart tighten. These experiences, although harsh, play a fundamental role. They strengthen the soul and prepare the spirit for great challenges. What seems unfair is, in fact, spiritual training, so that you can endure and grow. You are not alone in this story. The Bible is full of examples of people who were chosen and had a difficult childhood, but who were shaped by these experiences to fulfill a greater purpose. Think of Moses. As a baby, he had to be hidden to escape death. He grew up away from his family in a hostile environment. But all of this was part of the preparation for him to become the deliverer of the people of Israel. Another example is David, the young shepherd who cared for the sheep alone in the field. While his brothers received more attention, he faced loneliness and the dangers of nature. But these moments were essential in forming his courage and faith, preparing him to become king and leader of his people. Even when he seemed forgotten, God was already working in his life. Samuel also went through important training from an early age. Serving in the temple, he heard God's call while still a child, a call that would change his life and the history of the people of Israel. His childhood, dedicated to service and listening, was a period of spiritual formation that prepared him to be a prophet and judge. These stories show us that the difficulties faced in the childhood of the chosen are not obstacles to prevent the fulfillment of the calling, but tools to refine character and strengthen faith. Loneliness, losses, and premature responsibilities are challenges that create a solid foundation for the journey ahead. You may have felt that you had to learn to deal with the world before your time, that childhood was a time of premature maturity. This feeling is common among the chosen ones, and this is precisely what is part of the calling: to be prepared to be strong, wise, and resilient, even when everything around seems difficult. Do not forget that amid these trials, there is always a greater purpose. What you lived was a process to awaken your potential, so that you could be ready for the responsibilities and challenges that God has reserved for you. Nothing was in vain. If you look back and see difficult moments, also see what they built inside you, a sensitivity that many do not have, a silent strength that only the chosen carry. Every tear, every difficult night, every moment of loneliness help to prepare your spirit for something grand. Do not feel defeated by your difficult childhood. It was the school where your soul learned to resist, to grow, to trust in God, even when it seemed that everything was against you. It is the foundation of your calling, the cornerstone that supports your mission. Therefore, allow yourself to look at this phase with new eyes. Recognize the value of the experiences that life has given you and understand that you are shaped with purpose. You are a chosen one, prepared from a young age to fulfill a role that the world expects. This preparation has not always been easy, but it was necessary, and today, when you recognize all of this, you begin to strengthen yourself to take even greater steps with faith, courage, and wisdom. God has never abandoned you. He shaped you even in difficulties. Many chosen ones discover that they have always felt the world differently. Perhaps you noticed from a young age that you felt too much, that you picked up on the emotions of the people around you as if they were your own. This deep sensitivity is not a weakness nor imagination. It is a spiritual gift that God placed in you. Feeling the pain of others, having intuitions that seem to come from nowhere, sensing when something is wrong even without explanation, are clear signs of a special connection to the spiritual world. You have a perception that goes beyond the physical, an openness to what is not always seen, but is there, present, and alive. It is also common for spiritual gifts to be dormant or suppressed by fear, shame, or lack of guidance. Many people with incredible gifts silence themselves because they do not know how to handle them, or because they have had experiences that made them doubt their own worth. But these gifts do not disappear. They remain alive within you, waiting to be awakened. It is important to understand that your gifts are an essential part of your calling as a chosen one. They were given so that you can fulfill the mission that God has for your life. These spiritual talents are tools to help, to heal, to illuminate paths. But they only work when they are recognized and nurtured. Do not be hard on yourself for not understanding everything right away. The awakening of gifts is a process that happens at the right time, and the best way to develop this sensitivity is with faith and balance. Seek moments of silence, prayer, and meditation to hear the voice of the Spirit clearly. Look for support from people who can guide you and who respect this special nature of yours. Value what you feel and what you experience. Allow yourself to be who you are with all your sensitivity and your gifts. They are precious gifts that make you a channel of light in this world. When you learn to use these tools wisely, your mission becomes clearer and lighter. Remember that spiritual gifts are not meant to overwhelm you, but to strengthen you. Do not compare yourself to others, nor pressure yourself to be perfect. Each chosen one has a unique rhythm and way of manifesting their talents. What matters is your willingness to grow and serve with love. Be gentle with yourself during this journey. The sensitivity that accompanies you is a bridge between heaven and earth, a path to transforming pain into learning and challenges into opportunities. Embrace this part of yourself with love and courage. When you embrace your gifts and understand that they are part of your calling, you begin to walk with more confidence. This spiritual connection that guides you can take you to incredible places, helping you and also those who cross your path. Do not be afraid to be different. You were chosen precisely because you have something special to offer the world. Take care of your gifts, cultivate your sensitivity, and let the light that exists in you shine ever brighter. Many times, the chosen ones feel a loneliness that has nothing to do with being alone. It is that feeling of being surrounded by people, but still not feeling part of the group. You may have noticed this since childhood. You didn't fit in with the games, the conversations, or even within your own family. This feeling of not belonging is more common than it seems. It is not a sign of weakness or something wrong with you. On the contrary, it is a sign that your path is different. You have been set apart for something special, and this difference sometimes brings that feeling of isolation. God chooses some for a unique journey, which is not always easy and often requires more silence and introspection. Being separate does not mean being abandoned. In fact, this separation serves to preserve your essence, to protect your inner strength. Sometimes it is necessary to be a little distant from the crowds to prepare for what lies ahead. This more solitary walk helps to strengthen the spirit and clarify your purpose. Knowing that this feeling has a spiritual meaning can completely change how you see yourself. You are not out of place because you failed to fit in, but because God wants you to be a light in a place where few reach. Your mission may require you to be ready to lead, to illuminate new paths that have yet to be traveled. Even if it is difficult, this feeling is part of growth. It helps develop empathy, understanding, and strength to move forward even when everything seems uncertain. You learn to lean on God, to seek answers within yourself, and to trust that you are not alone, even when it seems you are. This spiritual loneliness is, in fact, preparation. It is a space for you to listen to your inner voice, to connect more deeply with your mission. The chosen ones sometimes walk alone, but never without divine support. This separation is an invitation to strengthen your roots and grow in faith. If you feel that you do not belong where you are, know that this is not a punishment. It is a call to look beyond, to seek a place where your light can shine more brightly. God has a plan for you, even if the path seems lonely for now. Accept this difference with love and patience. The feeling of not belonging is not your enemy, but a sign that you are on the right path, prepared to fulfill a greater mission. If you are a chosen one, you may have already felt things that seem difficult to explain, things that the people around you find strange, but that makes sense to you, even if they seem out of the ordinary. These signs are part of your spiritual awakening, of your special connection to something greater. Another sign is inexplicable fears that have no clear origin. Fears that arise for no reason, that seem to come from past lives or memories you cannot access. These fears are not just weaknesses, but indications of a sensitivity that picks up energies and experiences that go beyond the physical. You may also feel a strong attraction to ancient cultures, traditions, and places that seem to call you. You may want to visit ancient temples, ruins, or historical sites, even without knowing why. These places carry energies and wisdom that resonate with your soul. This connection can indicate that you have a profound spiritual history that transcends this life. Many chosen ones report supernatural experiences, dreams that seem prophetic, visions that bring messages, intense sensations that do not fit what is common. You may have heard voices or felt presences that others do not perceive. These experiences are a way for the Holy Spirit or spiritual guides to communicate with you, revealing paths and protecting your journey. Another curious and lesser-known sign is interference with electronic devices when you are nearby. It may happen that cell phones freeze, lights flicker, or computers turn off without explanation. This occurs because your energy vibrates at a different frequency, which can affect the functioning of these devices. It is a physical manifestation of your spiritual sensitivity. All these signs may seem strange or even frightening, but they are an invitation for you to understand that your spiritual connection is awakening. They show that you are more in tune with the invisible, with what goes beyond what the eyes can see. It is important not to feel alone or confused in the face of these experiences. They are part of your identity as a chosen one. Accepting these signs and seeking to understand them calmly and with faith helps to strengthen your path. When you learn to recognize and deal with these signs, your journey becomes clearer and lighter. You begin to understand that what once seemed strange is in fact a call to delve deeper into the mission that God has entrusted to you. So, whenever you feel that something is different, that your intuition is strong, or that something inexplicable happens, remember, these are steps in your spiritual awakening. They indicate that you are being guided and prepared to fulfill a greater purpose. The life of the chosen has a meaning that goes far beyond difficulties. The mission that God has entrusted to you is not just for your personal benefit, but to illuminate and help many other people. Your purpose is to be a light that guides, inspires, and transforms the lives of those who cross your path. The journey may be full of challenges and obstacles, but the reward is profound: inner transformation, spiritual growth, and fruits that go beyond what you imagine. Each pain, each struggle, and each gift you have received are part of this preparation to fulfill your calling. Even when the difficulties seem great, do not give up. Use everything you have lived, your pains and your gifts, as tools to move forward. Each experience serves to strengthen you and make your mission clearer and more effective. Respond to God's call with faith and courage. He is always by your side, watching over every step you take. You are not walking alone on this journey. The certainty of purpose and the divine presence are your greatest support. If you have recognized some of these signs and challenges in your story, know that your life has a very special purpose. You are a chosen one, prepared from the beginning by God to fulfill a unique mission. This gives meaning to your experiences, strengthens your heart, and opens your eyes to the truth of your identity. Walk confidently, even in the face of struggles, because you are not alone. God is with you, guiding and protecting you in every moment. This awareness transforms the journey, making it lighter and filled with hope. I would love to hear your story. Share in the comments if you have ever felt any of these signs or lived these experiences. Your voice can be the strength that another chosen one needs to recognize themselves and awaken. If this message touched your heart, subscribe to the channel. Here, we want to build a community where the chosen can grow, learn, and strengthen each other. Join us on this journey of faith, discovery, and spiritual protection.